Alright, in this video we'll see how to add a comment for each page. Let's say I'm in the Superman product page. There is a comment section available. Also the listed comment which already entered shows up. Similarly on the t-shirt texture we have a comment. If you want to insert a comment, just click on the submit button and you will get the comment saved through AJAX, and that comment will be displayed over here. Similarly, if I click on submit button, that without page getting refreshed, you'll see that the comment got added into the comment section. So this whole section is coming from a shortcode. You just have to create a page, and just below your product you just need to display this shortcode, and that shortcode will have this text box and this submit button, and along with the data specific to this particular page. In this case it's comment. These data are getting stored into a custom table called this, and these data again I'm fetching it from the database and displaying it into a separate page where we will have the list of comments. Let's say the Dexter t-shirt has 2 comments, the Johnny Test t-shirt has 1 comment, the Superman t-shirt has 3 comments, and I wish to reset the comment for the Johnny Test. If I click on reset, it will ask a confirmation saying that are you sure you want to remove the comments. I said yes, and you say, and if I get into the Johnny Test page again, you will see there will be no comment because we have erased it. So my comment again, and if I click on submit without page getting refreshed, you'll see the data got saved into the database. If I click on it, you'll see the data here. My comment again got saved, and in the settings page you'll see Johnny Test has the comment 1 again. So in this video we are going to see how to create a custom table which will store all our comments based on the page, and we'll see a shortcode for comment section. As I shown you, this is a comment. If we had this shortcode, we'll have this text box, we'll have this submit button, we'll have the comments section which is already pasted by the user, and we are using the AJAX for saving the comments. We don't want the page to get refreshed, so let me just submit the comment. Without page getting refreshed, you'll see the data got saved. That's happening because of the AJAX. Now we'll see a custom dashboard page. This is a custom dashboard page which will list all the added comment, and in case if you want to remove some of the content, just click on the reset button and that's done. Your Johnny Test page is clean now with no comments. Cool. This is the overview of what we are going to cover. In case if you are interested in learning WordPress tutorial like this, or you want to be a web designer, or you want to be a UI developer or a PHP developer or a WordPress developer, I have a complete roadmap for this. So this is a website that you have to visit. I have a complete playlist, or you can say a masterclass from zero to hero. I would recommend you to start from HTML and get into CSS, then get into JavaScript, then PHP, then WooCommerce, then we have theme development, then we have plugin development, and finally the Laravel. So each course has some amount of lesson. Let's say we have 56 lessons, we have 104 lessons. For JavaScript we have hundreds of lessons. So these sessions are divided, these lessons are made in such a way that it would make you from zero to hero. I would recommend you to start from scratch, and as you go from the basic HTML to CSS, we'll be jumping into PHP to HTML. Once PHP to HTML is mastered, we'll be getting into the PHP to Bootstrap, and you will be confident enough to say yourself that you are a HTML developer. Similarly goes for the JavaScript. Want to be a UI developer, I have a playlist for the JavaScript as well. We have hundreds of lessons in it. It will start from zero, and as you progress through, you will be able to create a custom chatbot, you'll be able to create IMDb clone, you will be able to create text to speech app. Again, it's a zero to hero masterclass. As of now the course is free. As day passes, I'll make it as a paid course. Enroll now and enjoy the flow. So this is a roadmap for WordPress developer. And if you want me to create such tutorial in the future, I would recommend you to fuel my coding journey. So this is the payment page. If you like my tutorial, and you are free to donate any amount of value through this page. I'll leave the link in the description for this payment page, also for this masterclass. Let's get into the plugin. First and foremost thing, I want the plugin to show up over here. So for that, what we need to do is we need to create a plugin folder. Let's say UI Monk. Let's just keep it UI Monk as it is, and it should be inside your plugins folder. I have set up WordPress locally, so get into the plugins and create your folder. Once this folder is created, you need to create a PHP file inside the created folder. Here in this case, it's UI Monk. It should be same as your folder name, and you need to pass some data about the plugin name, about the description, about the version, and about the author. So for that, we need to pass PHP comment into it. This is going to be the plugin name, and just below we have comment, just below we have version number, and after that your author. So once it's saved, this is enough for the plugins to show on this particular page. Now when I click on activate, I want to run a database query. So that database query will create a table on the phpMyAdmin section. So we have to use register activation hook, and this register activation hook will call a function that will have the database query to execute. And now since it's custom table, WordPress gives you a function called delta-db, where we need to pass the query and it will execute our query for creation of table. Now you see I'm passing the constant over here. So for that, I need to create a constant. This constant is nothing but your database table name. So this is the constant, and I'm saying WP prefix. So WPDB is nothing but it will act as an intermediate between this page and your database. So I'm saying using this WPDB, get the prefix of the table and use it as a table name, WP underscore, and this is going to be the table name. Once you activate this plugin, you will see in your database you will have a table named underscore, this one, and it will have ID, post ID, comment text, creator at, and I'm making that ID as a primary key. So ID, post ID, comment text, and creator. Now we need to create a shortcode. WordPress gives you a add shortcode function. Now we have a add shortcode function. This function will simply have our HTML. So let's paste our HTML. So before pasting that, wherever the page is actually there, we need to get the page ID. Each page will have a page ID, so we need to get that. So for that, we'll use the global object called post to get the post ID. Now you see in the comment, this is a div, and this is a text box, and this is a submit button. We need to have that. So whenever you write an HTML, it's better to have output buffer start. And this is a wrapper. Wrapper has a ID, so that ID has the post ID. Again, text area has an ID, that ID has a post ID. Similar to that, button also has an ID, that ID has this post ID, and finally the message also has the post ID. And also the UI, the unordered list that will display all the entered comment will also have the ID where your post ID is appended, and we want the data to be displayed, and that's it. Now this amount of code is enough to make your shortcode work. If you get into edit page, let's open another page on the side. So this is the shortcode that we need to use for the Dexter product. Dexter is not a product, actually it's a page. If I click on refresh, you'll see the section shows up. The text area will have a ID, the will have a ID, and the message also will have an ID, and finally the unordered list will also have an ID. So now what we need, when I click on a button, I want an AJAX to load that will have the post ID and the comment. And once the AJAX is created, I need to send those requests to a WordPress hook. So that is defined with the AJAX. We need to pass an action for that. Let's do that. Setting up the jQuery first, and receiving the post ID from here, and then receiving the list from here, receiving the message from here. Now let's work on the click function click event, so we can send AJAX request. Now when I have a click event on the submit button, I'm sending an AJAX request, and AJAX request will have the post ID, the comment, and also the action. So this action is needed so that these data would be manipulated and gets saved into the database. So for that we need to create a hook with this action. So let's do that. Now this AJAX has to work on both the end, one with when people are logged in, one when people are not logged in. So for that we receive these data, which is post ID and comment. I have received it. If not, make the post ID 0. If not, make the post ID blank, and insert the data. Once on insert, I want the comment to be sent back. We'll receive the comment over here. You see, we'll receive the comment over here, and we are appending it into the list item. On success, I want the text to be saved with green color, and I want the comment text box to go blank. Also the list item has to be populated with the box which we have comment which we have entered. Now let's see. If I say test, click on submit, and it says the data is saved, and now it worked. Now what we need to do, when I refresh the page, you'll see the data won't stay over here on the comment. So for that we need to send a request again. This is going to be on page load. So just above your or you can say just above your pick function, I want to add another function that will simply again send a get post ID, so that on page load what I'm sending is I'm sending the post ID to a AJAX, which is UI-monk get. I'll do that. The hook that handles the request is this one. This is for the non-logged in user, this is for the logged in user, and simply I am getting, since we have got the post ID, with the post ID I am receiving all the item in the table and displaying and sending back as a success, and I'll receive the rows over here as a response. And since it's going to be multiple rows, I'm appending it with the help of for each and displaying it into the list, appending it as a list item. And if you refresh it, you'll see the test will show up. Let's say test 2. On load, on submit without page refresh it works, and on load also it will work. Now that was the next thing that we need to do is I want to create a page, or let's say I want to beautify this box. So in that case we'll need to create a style which is style.css. I have to paste the style. So once this style is pasted, we need to link that style sheet with this current page. For that we need to enqueue the style. So this is the handle that WordPress takes care of it. I'm sending the location where our style sheet is, and I'm saying that it doesn't have any dependency and the version is 1.0. If there is a dependency, then the first file would load, then later our style sheet will load. So this is a general jQuery. In case if it doesn't work, we need to have the jQuery also. Now let's work on the custom page, and before that, if I refresh it, you'll see the page will have a beautification. That's because of the CSS applied. To create an option page, we'll use the admin menu hook, which will have the page title, the h1, the capability for the author, and the slug and the function. When I click on it, this function would get executed, and that function will simply have a table. You see, before that I'm displaying all the value table and grouping it by post ID. I have already explained in the previous video why we use post ID. If you don't use post ID, you will receive just one row. If you use post ID, then the count will be based on the each post, and since we get the count based on the post ID, we'll receive it in the form of rows, and we'll display the ID, we'll display the title, we'll display the count, and along with the button. And when the button is clicked, again we'll send an AJAX request, and that AJAX request will remove or delete the row. So before how we are going to send it, that's important. We are not sending it with the help of ID. Here we are sending it with the help of data hyphen post. Now since we have sent it data hyphen post, when I click on the reset button, I'm getting the data hyphen post data, and I'm passing the value to the AJAX. So this is a hook that is going to handle our request. This is going to be the post ID. Now we need to create this hook, and that hook will simply receive the post ID and run the delete, and it doesn't give anything. So before delete, it will ask in the in where the JavaScript code is, are you sure you want to delete this post? And once you say yes, then only this AJAX request is created. This AJAX request has the post ID variable and the action where it needs to be done, and I have already explained it. And on success, you'll see a text reset is done, and on time the location would be reloaded. Once this is displayed, the page would get reload on 600 millisecond, and you'll see the data getting disappeared. Let's see in the page. You'll see a setting page. You see UI monk AJAX comment, and since we have entered only one, if I click on reset, and this is coming from the JavaScript, when I click on OK, AJAX request will be made, and after 600 millisecond, this row gets disappeared. That's all for today. Meet you tomorrow on the another plugin.